You know, nobody can predict the future with any real certainty, and when the MMORPG genre originally hit the scene, nobody could have known that the humble beginnings of games like Ultima Online and EverQuest would mature into the extremely diversified genre that we have now. More than 2 decades have passed since the designation of MMORPG has made its mark on gaming. With more MMORPGs on the market than ever before, it's easy to see that in many ways, the genre has grown stagnant. What are developers waiting for? Is it technology, or is it that innovation has grown stagnant? Could it even be a mix of a number of things? The facts of the matter are, there are some exciting features that will eventually play a key role in the MMORPGs of the future, but they are all in different areas of implementation. Just as the genre has taken decades to mature to this point, these technologies will take some substantial trial and error before they come to fruition in the next big series of games. Until then, here is a list of 5 features that players can look forward to for the future of MMORPGs. Mixed reality head-mounted displays are something that have been around for decades, and these days players can use them to play specialized VR games as well as normal PC, mobile, and console games with a screen that stays within their personal line of vision. Exciting features like hand tracking and object tracking will open the door to highly immersive experiences. Whether you want to cast a spell with a hand signal or slice away at enemies with a sword that you can actually feel in your hand, mixed reality will make it possible. Right now, there are numerous VR MMORPGs on the market currently, like Zenith the Last City, and plenty more in development. It's only a matter of time before there are lighter, more accessible hardware and a lot more fun games out there for the immersive MMORPG player looking to get into a new way to play. The days of boring NPCs and rehashed quest dialogue may be coming to an end. Technology has advanced substantially in the way AI can learn and produce exciting and novel interactions. Generative Pre-trained Transformer 3, otherwise known as GPT-3, is an AI that uses deep learning of language to produce text that mimics human dialogue and storytelling. While it's not perfect, GPT-3 has been shown to produce exciting response prompts in text-based games like AI Dungeon. The characters and situations that AI can produce while staying within necessary boundaries of a world and its rules can open up extensive choices for MMORPG players in the future. Lest we not forget, the buck does not stop with GPT-3. GPT-4 is also on its way with more than 100 trillion machine learning parameters, which puts it at 5 times the complexity of GPT-3. Developers need only utilize these features within their games to create NPC encounters that can move, react, and interact like real players would, which would fundamentally change the MMORPG worlds that players wish to inhabit. Whether you love or hate blockchain, there's no denying that many developers out there have considered the use of it at some point. Often touted as a way for players to gain true ownership of their assets, the truth has often washed out to more of a phonership, in that when the development team goes bottoms up, the player's assets are worthless and are generally inaccessible. However, blockchain's multitude of features that developers often speak about, like the ability to migrate assets from one game to another or rid yourself of those assets without breaking any terms of service, are features that would benefit players in the long run. One example of this can be seen throughout the WeMix network of games, and sure, many could contend that the portfolio of WeMix games are borderline at best, with one of their flagship titles, Mir 4, taking one of the top spots as a most played MMO on Steam. And then on the other end of the spectrum, there is the addition of the soon-to-be converted failed game, Bless Unleashed. It's clear that WeMix is hit and miss. But one thing is for certain, the ability to buy, sell, and transition assets through a multitude of games using the WeMix currency is nothing if not beneficial to gamers who enjoy these games. Multi-universal currencies and some assets that can be traded within an extended network is a highly likely possibility for the future of MMORPGs and online games as a whole. Monetization systems are never a fun conversation. With numerous predatory systems on the market, it's easy to see that there can be a lot of issues when introducing new models to players. Gacha and cash shop systems put a lot of players in the have-not category, where they just can't compete with paying players, and paying players can't compete with the whales who pride themselves on outspending everyone to gain power and notoriety. The future of MMORPG monetization may look a little more stable with an option for alternative monetization: ad revenue. Many mobile games have already implemented ad revenue to their game so that the cost of entry is low and players still receive rewards to power up their character. While cash shops don't fully go away, ad-supported options might be a convenient way for developers to get non-paying players to accrue additional income for them for nothing more than a few minutes of their time. As games look toward the future, players should expect many more games to find creative ways to utilize ads to keep players invested, rather than expecting them to always front hard-earned cash for every premium item. If you hate waiting hours for game downloads and worrying about system requirements, fear not. The future, my friends, is on the horizon. In the past several years, cloud streaming services have cropped up, and there have been numerous misses within the cloud gaming sector. With the failure and migration of OnLive to PS Now, the missteps and restructuring of Shadow Cloud, and the extreme failures of Google Stadia, you could say that cloud gaming is looking bleak. However, you would be wrong, especially when it comes to MMORPGs. Sure, GeForce Now is popular, and it gives players a lot of options to play the games they already own, but in the future, we're going to see a lot more cloud-native games, just like the MMORPG that Raph Koster's development studio Playable Worlds is working on, and they are just one of several developers that are looking into cloud-native MMORPGs. Cloud-native games give the developers the ability to make changes on the fly, and it improves the speed at which players can get into the game, and of course, it reduces the system requirements so that more players can partake in cloud-native games with a low cost of entry. While each of these features are still a work in progress, the future of MMORPGs is actually looking pretty bright despite the growing pains that it will take to get there. For more information on each of these features, head on over to MMORPG.com and check out our full article. Are there any future technologies or game features you hope get implemented into future MMORPGs? Let us know in the comments, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.